Today on the Lavatanssit podcast, we discuss Finnish dance culture. My name is Reijo Määttänen. With me are Tarja Hall.
Hey, hi, it's me.
And Sari Isokääntä.
Hi there, I'm Sari.
What are Finnish lavatanssit?
The word Lavatanssit actually refers to traditional Finnish social dances, and it's a kind of a unique phenomenon, unique to Finland, because it's its own culture, which covers all age groups. So both old and young people dance Finnish Lavatanssit. And it's also found throughout the whole country. So it's not only found in the city, in the countryside, but also in the cities. And also in terms of the number of different dances that are danced at Lavatanssit. So I don't think it's found anywhere else in the world other than Finland.
It sounds very, very, very unique. What happens in a dance? In a lavatanssi?
Yeah, in Lavatanssit. First of all, it's done in different kinds of dance halls or dance pavilions, which are very often specifically built for the purpose of dancing. And they are places where people get to meet each other and socialize and also have fun dancing. And usually at a dance, there is a live band. Or even two of them sometimes, so two live bands playing. And what happens is that usually people stand in two rows, men or the leaders on one side of the hall, and then women or the followers on the other side of the hall. And then it's usually the men who get to choose who they dance with. So they walk towards the row of women and nod and stretch their hand to them and ask them to dance or invite them to dance. And then they dance two songs in a row together. And then the leader takes the follower back to the row. And that's it. And then they start a new one.
So it sounds kind of formal. So the men are... Just to recapture, the men are standing against one wall and the women against another wall opposite, and they're looking at each other.
Oh, yes.
And then the men choose, or the leaders choose who they go to and invite for a dance.
Yes.
And how do they do that? They just walk to the lady, and what do they say?
Yeah. They don't necessarily say anything. They just nod and smile, of course.
Right.
and the woman usually understands that.
Right.
That is an invitation.
Yes. And
dance.
like you said earlier, I think that it is understood that you are to dance with anybody and everybody. You're not going to say no to them. It's bad manners.
Well, usually at least it is thought of as somewhat impolite.
Rude.
So usually if they politely ask you, then you agree. And,
yes.
yeah.
Because you're there for dancing, and
That's
it's
it.
not like you're not there to pick somebody that you just like their looks or anything. You're there to dance.
It's for dancing, yeah.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is also that the ladies sometimes get to choose. So there typically is at least 1 hour for the ladies. So the ladies' choice or ladies' hour, where they get to choose who they dance with. So
and what kind of dances do people dance there? Are there different types of dances?
yeah, that's one of the probably unique things about Finnish Lavatanssit as well, because we have, I should say, at least 15 different dances these days that are danced.
Can you name some of them?
Yeah. Well, there are the most traditional ones are of course the tango and the waltz. There's both the Viennese waltz, the faster one, and then the slow waltz. Then there's foxtrot, and then a Finnish specialty, which is humppa.
Sounds fun.
Sounds fun, yes. It feels the way it sounds, I think.
Right.
And then traditional folk dances like polka, which is also danced elsewhere in Europe, and a Finnish specialty, another one which is jenka, which is very close to schottisch, which is I think of German origin. But in addition to these more traditional ones, which used to be danced even in the 40s, 50s and 60s and so on, we now have a lot of other ones that are particularly popular in the younger generations. So there's Latin American dances like salsa and bachata, cha-cha-cha, things like that, rumba. But then also from America, I think we've adopted so-called rock and swing dances. So we have Lindy Hop and Boogie Woogie and West Coast Swing.
Okay.
And especially young people are eager to learn those. So we have a lot of people who actually take courses in dancing and practice outside the dance events.
Okay. And this is something that people do year around, right? It's not just summer, even though it is in close to beautiful Finnish nature usually, those Lavatanssit, but it's throughout the year, even wintertime.
It is, yeah, we need to have places
Right.
for dancing in the winter too.
Yeah.
So yes, of course, in the summer we have beautiful dance pavilions in the middle of a forest and near the lake, which is really wonderful in the white summer nights.
Yes.
But in the winter then we have other kind of proper buildings for this, with a dance floor and so on. So yeah, all year round. People are very enthusiastic about their dancing,
Right.
passionate about it, and so they want to dance throughout the year.
What kind of health effects does dancing have?
Yeah, health effects. That's a good question, because I think there's already some research about the positive health effects from dancing. Like, of course, obviously there's the physical fitness aspect. So, of course, you take exercise while you're dancing, but you just don't notice it because it's so fun. But there's research that it also helps with brain health, especially learning to dance develops brain activity. And it's a social activity, very much so. So that certainly is very important.
Speaking of the social aspect of it, I think Reijo mentioned earlier that when he got divorced, one of his friends had said that doctors should prescribe 1 month of dancing for all the divorcees,
Right.
to get them off their mourning period and into the social life.
Yes, and I think that's a really good, shows very well the positive effects of that. It's really can even prevent loneliness. And,
Right, sounds like a great idea. I think we should take that to the doctors.
Yes, yeah. It should be prescribed by doctors,
Yes, yeah.
dancing. And it also develops your sense of balance, for instance, and coordination. There's so many positives.
Oh, would you
to-
mention, you mentioned earlier about the feeling that you get.
yeah.
The reason people are so hooked to dancing and so addicted to it, it
Yes.
sounds like, that you can't even be a week without doing it. What is the feeling? Can you describe the feeling that you get from it? And like, how does it feel?
That's a great question. At least from my own perspective, one of the most wonderful aspects of dancing is the communication with the partner without words. So it's the bodies that communicate with each other, and it's as if you become just one person when you dance.
That
with
is such
someone.
a strange thing if you think about it, that there's a person that you never maybe ever met before, but it's this music and this
Yes.
movement that makes you into one, whatever it
Yes.
is. And then you just, I think you mentioned that it's called like a dance heaven or something.
Yes.
It's like endorphins.
It feels like
and-
you're in heaven when you're dancing with the partner. So yeah.
Wow. Sounds,
Yeah.
I think all tourists and everybody visiting Finland should try this.
Definitely.
This fabulous.
Don't you agree, Reijo?
Yes.
I think he's kind of biased.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Well done.
Yes. I
Thank
think
you. That was
you.
fun. Thank you so much for telling me also about this.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Tarja and Sari, for the visit.
Thanks for the invitation.
Thanks. It was nice. And thank you, listeners.